Good morning, everyone. I'm Rick Stanley, your host on Chamber Talk on 104.3 Seacoast Oldies. Thank you for joining me this morning. My guest today is the chairman of the Sanford Mainers, Jake Willett.
Thank you, Rick.
How you been?
I've been very well, Rick. How have you been?
I'm good. You have one of the best radio voices around, just so you know. And it's also easy to interview you because you know your subject matter, and it's sports.
Yes.
In this case, it's the Mainers, right?
Absolutely. I've been ingrained in this for those who do know me, and especially you, Rick. Yeah, you know I've been involved with the Mainers for a very long time.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, and now obviously with the board
still
of directors.
a kid.
Yeah. Well, to maybe
eyes,
to you, right?
My eyes, you're still a kid. But you've come a long way with the Mainers, like you were just starting to say till I interrupted you. But you're the chairman of the board.
Yes. In my 5th year as chairman of the board, I've been, this is actually my 10th year total, on the board of directors for the Mainers. And, stemming all the way back, obviously the team was, came to Sanford in 2002, and our family started hosting players when I was in the 6th grade back in 2004.
They each had a house and home way back then.
Yeah, exactly. So the Mainers are certainly nothing new, and I've been ingrained ever since, and I've done just about everything for that team, and it's just been an amazing experience, and still.
It's part of your life.
Oh yeah,
what it is.
Right? As the cliche.
Today life comes at you fast on York County's morning show.
Hey, it's great. I mean, to think that we have such a gem in our community with the field and with the teams, and everybody else who gets to use Goodall Park is just a great place. No matter when we talk baseball or any sports, Goodall Park gets brought up. Just face it, playing there is like a treat, right? For everybody, it's an honor.
It really is. And, I had actually some friends recently that came down to the ballpark to watch the team and hadn't been to Goodall Park before. And I think one of my favorite things about it is when people show up to Goodall Park for the first time. And as much as we'd love for everybody to know about it, they all have the same reaction. It's just like, wow, what a gorgeous ballpark. And,
didn't know it was that nice.
No,
right?
Exactly. Didn't know, and didn't know it was there. I mean, it sits at the bottom of the hill on Robert Street, and but also, I'd be remiss to not give credit to the Sanford Parks and Recreation Department, who has just done an absolute incredible job with Goodall Park over the years. And
pretty manicured field.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you a quick story. But back when the Mainers, back in 2001, when I don't even know his name now, it doesn't matter to me. But they were looking to expand their small league at that, not that many teams, and apparently this guy had gone up to University of Southern Maine and had talked with Flaherty, who was the baseball coach up there, and trying to convince them that maybe that'd be a good spot for a summer baseball team. Flaherty, and I don't even know him either, but had told him, you need to go back out to Interstate 95, get off at exit 2, right, was what we were back then, go to Sanford and look at their ballpark. And this was... 2001, basically. And he did that, and he came right up to my office, apparently. He said, I just left your ballpark. He said, you guys need a team here in Sanford, right? That's where it started. And then I didn't know anything about it, and of course everybody was skeptical. Oh, what are you talking about? So I called Marcel. Marcel came over. We talked with him. And then we got a few people like Alan Mapes, and that's how it started.
Oh, yeah.
But the initial introduction was to me from a guy who was told by Flaherty, you need to go back down and see that ballpark.
And that's what's the beauty of Goodall Park.
Basically started from way back when, because long ways from there. But matter of fact, I still have a picture on my wall. I'm going to show you right now.
There it is, Rick.
That was the first year. Pete Faulkner and I did the radio. Actually, it was Metrocast. Taping the game.
Yep.
And I was doing the play-by-play, and Pete was doing the color because he was good at that.
Oh, yeah.
Then. And then, of course, we weren't aspiring to be anything other than, because when we talk about the ballpark, you can go into that, but everybody wants pretty much everybody wants to make it to the next level, right?
Yeah.
But he and I were not looking to do that. We was just something to do that summer, and it was an awesome summer to do that. So.
Well, I think what you guys did, you epitomized what, I think this organization has really become, and it's been, people involved in the community and giving back in many different ways. So, obviously in the first year of that organization, that's what you and Pete did. You know, I stepped up, volunteered your time and called baseball.
Yeah.
And
it was fun.
Yeah.
Though. It really was fun. The kids were small. They hung around the ballpark. It was just it was a good summer.
Absolutely.
It's come a long way from there. Jake, let's talk about the team, where they are this summer. There was a bookworms program that happened earlier on, or maybe it was during the winter season, but that's come to an end, and things have happened with that.
Yeah,
right?
for this summer, obviously. So I'll give a lot of credit to our office and sales manager, Andrea Knight. She put together, this actually started last year, Boomers Bookworms. It's named after the youngest of our two Moose mascots, and put together this literacy program, really emphasizing the need for, the continuing, literacy education, the importance of reading, and brought the local, elementary schools and middle schools into that environment. And, this past, late winter, I should say, we had another round of that, and it's encouraging kids to read. They make their way around the bases based on how the program is set up, and
how many books they read, they get to go from first to second base or whatever.
How many minutes they read. So every 15 minutes they get to shade in an arrow, and they make their way around the bases. Nice. And when they make it to home, they get a couple tickets to a Mainers game, and we had 2 nights this year to recognize the participants in it, and we were able to expand to several school districts, not just in Sanford but outside of Sanford, to really garner that participation. And it was. I
heard you had 900 or so people attend that.
Yeah, so
the
last Sunday, so we had our second of 2 Boomers Bookworms literacy nights, and first of all, mid-afternoon game, gorgeous weather, and and we had a ton of kids show up to be recognized, and I think our final registered attendance was 976. Now,
is that the most you've ever had?
So the most we've ever had is a little over 1,200 at the very beginning of 2005, the home opener then, and then if anyone remembers the game 2 of the championship series last year, in August, we had little over 1,000 people.
That's
and I would say the crowd for this recent game was very reminiscent of that championship game in terms of just the energy, the buzz, but also just to see all of that turn out for, really what the highlight of it all was, the literacy program, and just what it is that the team is trying to accomplish, not only on the field, but off the field as a community integrated, organization. So
let's step back a little bit for those that might not be familiar with the Mainers, like some of us are. Tell us about the team itself. What's it made of, and how's that fit into the community kind of thing?
Absolutely. So just some high level points. So the Mainers are part of the New England Collegiate Baseball League. There's 13 teams in all 6 New England states. We're the only team in Maine. For a quick second, there was another one in Old Orchard Beach, but that was a one and done kind of thing in terms of what they did before they transitioned the league that they were in. But we've been in existence now for 24 years. So next year, big year for us, 25 years.
Wow.
But the entire makeup of every team in the league is collegiate athletes, collegiate baseball players from all over the country.
College players.
And what's great about it is you have athletes that show up from as small as community college or junior colleges from across the country to as high level as some of those big top colleges you might recognize, those programs like Vanderbilt or Virginia Tech or Duke or, you name it, Tennessee, and that's what's great. You see all of this talent, and then they come here. And for the most part, there are some college teammates that come here.
They're recruited to come here, right?
They're recruited. So our baseball operations staff, our general manager, Aaron Izarek, head coach, Nick Lobs, they have relationships with college coaches all over the country. And it's conversations that stem, really as early as the fall, prior to the season where, who's going to be sent our way.
And what are they saying? Let's say Vanderbilt is saying, they got some good prospects, and they want to obviously keep the quality and the level of play at their college. They know the Sanford Mainers program, or they know the collegiate program in New England, right? It's pretty high, high on the list of wanting to send your players to for the summer, because you're actually sending a player from your college, right?
Yep.
Being drafted through a system you have, like anybody else, and they didn't come here for a summer job. They're coming here to play baseball.
That's exactly it. Our head coach has a really great philosophy in terms of how he views the summer collegiate season, and it's that when these players are here, they're not playing summer baseball; they're playing baseball in the summer, and it's entirely a mentality comment where it's the fact that it may be outside of your college season, but this is where not only yes we want to have fun. However, this is where they're here to really improve.
Right. They want to make it to the big show, right?
Absolutely. And the difference too, and Rick, I know you love this part, but as we're used to with college baseball, it's all aluminum bat and everything, but they come here, it's all wood bat. It's that classic sound, the crack of the bat, everything you can imagine.
Awesome.
And so a different style of baseball, but this is where some of these kids, especially if they are redshirt freshmen and they didn't get the reps they needed in that first year just because of where they are on the roster, this is where they're coming to kind of get those reps and build, grow, and really for us the goal is for them to go back to school better than when they left school. And for our organization, the importance with that is not only they get better as an athlete, but we also hope to send them back better as people. We have some great kids, but character building never stops, right? So, and that's what we also try and instill in how to be a true professional. But you mentioned earlier about what it means as part of the community. Not only is it the athletes, but this program also has a staff of a little over 20 interns as well. So not only on the field are these players trying to learn and grow, but we also have intern staff there coming in that are looking to build their craft. Whether it's in analytics or sports management or broadcasting or even video production or anything of that nature.
How about even umpiring?
Umpiring too, yes.
Are they looking to make it to the next level?
Oh, yes.
Some of these guys and ladies as well.
We all know how it goes with umpiring, and sometimes there's the disagreements on the in terms of what their calls are. But at the end of the day, they also are doing this to hopefully get better themselves. I mean, we watch Major League Baseball, and those umpires didn't just get there because they signed up one day. I mean, they've put in a lot of work to get to that level.
Exactly.
And so it's not only just about the players, it's about, as you said, the umpires, it's our intern staff, even our coaching staff. A lot of coaches in this league, not all of them, but a lot of them are assistant coaches or young, in their college programs, and they want to be a head coach one day at a high program.
So for the next level too.
So that's really what this league's all about. And
it's the incentive for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's about just going in, working hard, putting the work in, and but also providing a great entertainment piece for the community.
Well, that's certainly entertainment. Now, summer half gone, pretty much.
Yeah, it's actually a little more than half. It kind of stunned me at the time you and I are talking. We've played 30 games, and be a little bit more than that. But 44 game season, so it goes by in a flash. I mean, I kind of scratched my head because it's like I thought we just started, and now we're gearing up for a playoff run.
Even if you're not playing baseball, summer seems to go like that, right? So I think there's a good opportunity here, Jake, to say. Because promotion's part of the game, right? You sell tickets, you sell souvenirs and food and all kinds of things, and that's what all makes this work. Because I don't even want to know what it costs to run that program. I got to think the buses themselves are $250,000 when you get done. But when you're done, promotions is how you help pay for this. What have you got coming up? Because this is going to be aired on Sunday. Anybody listening, this Sunday, July 20th, this is on. So Jake's going to give us a little bit what's going on after July 20th in the next several games. So if you see something or hear something here that you might want to go to, this is the time, right?
Yeah. So believe it or not, from this point, we only have five home games left of the regular season as we gear up for the NECBL playoffs. And, the other thing about the Sanford Mainers, we are a nonprofit organization, 501c3. So we rely, heavily on outside community support. And the reason why I say all of that is because on Tuesday, the 22nd, we have our nonprofit awareness night. And actually, we've worked with, if the Sanford community very much remembers Frommy's fight. And how important that was to this community. Well, we've partnered with them now, and it's the Frommy's Fight Nonprofit Awareness Night. And really what we do there is we share our mission all day, all year long, and we want to give it an opportunity to let other nonprofits share what their mission is. So we kind of leave it open ended. Any nonprofit that we've reached out to, we've worked in the past, who reach out to us that want to come down and set up a tent with their organization and have a chance to share with our fans what their mission is.
So they can bring it. They can come down and
yes,
basically be there for that.
So far, we're looking at a great turnout for that. If you're listening to this and you want to hear this, definitely reach out to us, office@sanfordmainers.com. Space does get limited, as if you haven't been down to Goodall Park, that right field concourse is a little narrow, so we can only put so much down there. But just out of that's currently being organized. So if you want to be a part of this,
better call soon, right?
Better call soon. 324-0010 or office@sanfordmainers.com, and we'll see what we can do.
That's the 22nd.
That's the 22nd.
Okay.
And then on Friday, a little different than what's offered here on Seacoast Oldies, but we have Country Night on Friday the 25th. So any country fans out there, we have some live country music entertainment to start the game.
How early do the gates open for that?
So we're actually going to open up at 5 p.m. that night. Gates usually open at 5:30, so we're open a half hour early, and we'll have a country music artist down there.
Really?
Doing some little pregame on the concourse, and the whole night will be about it. So if you're a country fan, definitely definitely stop on down and
there's free parking around there too.
Free parking.
So people that have never been there before, you find a spot, you don't have to pay.
Free parking. The most, I don't want to say most expensive ticket. That's the wrong choice of words there. But the highest price ticket is $7.
Wow.
And our highest price menu item at our concession stand is $6. So put all that together and tell me where else you're having
it. Go to Fenway, right?
Exactly. But, I mentioned, we talked about the nonprofit status. We talk about the outside support. Well, on Sunday, July 27th, we have a couple of different things. It's our sponsor appreciation night. Our sponsors are so important. We have many that have supported us over the years, and we're so grateful for them because honestly, without their support, Mainers baseball we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And so we want to have a chance to recognize them on Sunday the 27th. And
is there something special going on that night?
Just a place to be, but we also, for the kids as well, we just had one recently, but Foam Invasion is coming back for another foam party in the parking lot.
Facebook.
Yes.
That's pretty fun.
I tell you, you don't need to be, it's fun for the kids, but you don't need to be a kid to have fun. Trust me. Our players were getting involved in the first, round of that, and it's just a blast. So
the whole field ended up with foam on it.
If the wind's blowing, right, we do it out in the parking lot, but it's hilarious. I mean, it's pure entertainment. But it's environmentally friendly too, and it's just a great time.
Like a kick.
Great time. And then, of course, Fan Appreciation Night on our last regular season home game on July 30th, but then a great one on Monday the 28th. It's National Night Out. We're partnering with the Sanford Police Department. National Night Out has for years have done it. In Central Park, right in the center of town.
Or something
exactly.
For the public.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we're partnering with them, and National Night Out will be it's free admission that day, actually,
really?
For Monday, July 28th, and there'll be a whole bunch of stuff going on at the park. So baseball, games, activities, interaction with our local police force. I believe many of our city council members will be there as well, and just a great time, and. That's what we love to do is, find ways that we can continue to bring in the local community and partner with who we can. So
that's July 30th.
That one is July 28th, Monday.
28th, right.
And then July 30th will be Fan Appreciation Night.
Game.
Last regular season home game. Yeah.
Now, as you get regular season home games, now that is interesting because last year, I happened to watch all those games because they were on, I don't know, Nissan 5 or whatever.
ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus, and
it's beyond my. But we were actually down to Pilots Cove.
Yes,
Becca and myself and Ann, I think LaPierre, and several other of us went down there to watch that final. I think it was the final game.
It was.
It was a away game.
It was game 3. It's best of 3 series. And it was
too bad.
Yeah,
but it was but talk about great game and entertainment.
For me, obviously, I'm biased, and I want the best for the Mainers, and it was incredibly heartbreaking. I mean, anyone who watched it knows that we were 2 outs away from a championship title, and it just didn't go that way. But backing up a step and taking my Mainers fandom, that was probably some of the best baseball I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's entertainment. Yeah. I mean, many of us, I say this often, maybe because I'm selfish, but let's say the Red Sox make it to the playoffs or whatever, and then they lose in the playoffs, but it was a good game, and they go, they didn't make it to the division championship, and you go, you know what? I watched it for the entertainment value.
Yeah,
I'm not making their salary, right?
Right.
And God, do you feel bad for them? I don't think so. I mean, they're picking up the paycheck at the end of the day. I don't feel that sorry for them, but that's my selfish part of it. But the entertainment end of it, you can't buy that every day. Something like that,
No.
Make it to the final game with 2 outs to go.
Yeah.
To me, that's exciting, and and is it going to happen this year? Where are we at this year?
We're in a good spot. We're in a playoff spot right now. We're second in the NECBL Northern Division right now. It's top 4 teams of each division make it to the postseason. So we've positioned ourselves so far, and really just hope to finish strong. And August 1st is when the playoffs would begin, and it's 3 best-of-3 series.
They have to wrap it up quick, though, don't they?
They do, yeah, because all these kids, like we mentioned, all these kids actually have to turn around and go back to school, and they start fall ball. Yeah. Exactly. So, and that's the other thing. These kids give up their summers to come get better at baseball, come play for the summer, and by the time they leave here, they really only have a couple weeks, if that, before they have to turn around and go back to school. So not only do they wrap up their school season in the spring, have a couple weeks at home, and then come here, they're doing the same thing on the back end before they go back for fall ball. So,
how far away is the farthest player this year? Coming from distance,
you're testing my memory on our roster right now. But
West Coast kids?
I think we have a couple maybe that are coming from the West Coast. I know we definitely have a couple from the Carolinas.
Really? Okay.
And let's see. Actually, I have our roster.
How about Maine? I'm going to throw these. How about Maine?
We have as local as TJ Curley right here in Sanford, Maine. Exactly.
Tim's son, right? I bet he doesn't miss a game.
He's been great, but we do have some great Mainers. Josh Kopetsky out of Arundel, Connor Torriello out of North Berwick, Ryan Colbin coming out of Cumberland Foreside, which we can talk about this in a second. But Ryan Colbin, starting catcher for the NECBL Northern All-Star team this year, by the way.
Really?
Which by the time July 20th, that game is happening today. And let's see. Few Georgia kids, and here we go. Yeah, Blake Schaff, he was with us. Unfortunately, he had to go back. He transferred and had to go take care of some commitments with. He transferred to Wake Forest, another big college program, but Oakland, California is where he's from. So, that's another big one. We have one from Iowa. Honestly, it's so great seeing where these kids come from, all walks of life.
And then they come to be on a team though where they don't know anybody else, right? But they're here for the summer. They must bond. Some of those
they do, and it's so great. And Sanford's been lucky over the years to have some teams that have just grown really close. I mean, they show up here day one. They don't know anything about each other, but by the time the end of the season shows up, it's like they've been playing baseball together their entire lives. Yeah. I mean, some friendships that have just lasted forever, and
some family friendships.
Absolutely,
too, right?
Absolutely, and that happens with our host family program. I mean, as you know, Rick, we do this for a half an hour, but I could go on for hours on end to talk about every component of this organization. But our host families too. I mentioned earlier, my family has hosted players, and they still keep in touch with some families from 06, 07 and beyond. Yeah. And even myself, I've hosted the broadcasters for 6 years. I took a year off this year, but for 6 straight years, and I've kept in touch with nearly all of them. And in fact, you talk about those relationships. I was in one of their weddings actually, really? Because of the friendship we were able to create. And
has any of those broadcasters that stayed with you gone to the next level?
So a lot of them have gone on to some really, professional careers between independent baseball, even in minor league. We have one in single A right now. We have some that have gone on to other video production style careers. One that was the assistant athletic director of communications for Queens University down in South Carolina, but he's now the video director and will be moving on. But he's currently the video director for Flatirons Community Church out in Colorado, which, big community church out there with a very impressive, I must say, just because I follow them, so I see a lot of the work, but with an impressive video production program for what their mission is. And, just some really, really incredible stuff.
Good to see, I mean, that they honed their skills and, at no compensation for any of these people that are here.
So, our internship program, does have a small stipend program, but again, really just kind of those travel expenses to and from the park. And but even beyond our broadcasters, we've had some really, high talent. We have one former team photographer, and she's gone on. She's now the assistant photographer for the New York Mets.
Wow.
We have another graphic designer and team photographer that is now in the graphic design department for Wegmans, which is a big grocery chain. I mean, so not only just sports, but just beyond that, she still does a bunch of stuff, on the side. And then most recently, our photographer and graphic designer from the last 2 years just got hired as the athletic photographer for Jacksonville State down in Alabama.
Wow.
So just some amazing things.
How about drafted? Anybody drafted yet?
So MLB
is it too
draft.
early for draft? No, draft's going on now, isn't it?
As we're recording this, it's going on now. And so far in the third round, pick 100, Cody Bowker, Maine native, by the way, who played for us in 2023, goes to Vanderbilt, just got picked up by the Phillies in the third round. So last year we had 6 players drafted, which was very exciting. We're hoping for more. We're hoping by the time this is aired, we'll have more, that have been picked up by. But that's the other thing. We talked about the development, and that's the ultimate goal. And seeing some former Mainers, get picked up and drafted, and hopefully make it to that big stage one of these days.
Do you know when scouts come?
Not usually.
Are you aware of any of that?
Sometimes, they'll show up. A lot of scouts love to just blend in. There's a couple out there that do let themselves known, but, now we're in that age of analytics, right? And the NECBL has really, they've taken the dive into analytics. So we have all that software, and MLB teams are now buying that data. So, scouts probably don't make an appearance as much as they used to. But that's because it's become an analytical world, and they're looking at a lot of the data that the league's putting through. But even though we would love to see some of the scouts in person, I think what the analytics component has done for us is still been able to put our players on the map and give them a chance. And honestly, we've had guys that are from these smaller schools that may not have otherwise been looked at from scouts get noticed because of some of the numbers that they're putting up in this league, and the analytics have helped that. So, and I think the league in general has seen an uptick just because of that. So
parents come to visit. They
absolutely, we just had our family weekend, so we got to see some player families, and it's really exciting to have them come up and see what it is that the Mainers do. So
where can I listen to the Mainers if I want to hear them on radio, or is there any broadcast I can catch them on during the
so I'll start right where we are right now. If anytime the Mainers are on the road, you can actually listen to those games right here on Seacoast Oldies. So we've had a great relationship with Seacoast Oldies over the years. But if you want to watch the games, be sure to check the schedule. We actually have for those with your smartphone, we have an official mobile app, by the way. So Sanford Mainers on the mobile app, but we're on both NECBL Plus and some select games on ESPN Plus too. Those are subscription based, but once again, if you're live and local and the Mainers are on the road, Seacoast Oldies is always free.
Right.
So
you can find out that information on the Mainers website, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Jake, that's I know you can talk, but we got to call it a day. My guest today has been Jake Willett. He's the chairman of the board of the Sanford Mainers, and man, you do a good job at that, I must say. And I'm Rick Stanley, your host of Chamber Talk on 104.3 Seacoast Oldies. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Jake Willett this morning.